Hi, and welcome to another episode of These Things Used to Be Really Edgy, but they've gotten really boring.
In 5D.
I think we're getting old.
You know, bitter, not bitter, but I got told I was too edgy recently, so there's that.
Well, we don't want to hear about other sadcast stuff.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. It's been a couple of weeks. We took a
Nobody knows that, though. Nobody knows that. You could have not said anything. Nobody would have known.
No, it's been a couple of weeks. It has.
Since it's been a couple weeks since we've sat there, but an episode has posted, and then this will post without them ever having known we took a break. You could have just lied.
You didn't let me finish, man.
What did we take a break from?
It's been a couple of weeks since you were here.
It's been 1 week since I was here.
Yeah. That's more than 1 week. No, it's been 2 weeks now. Did we do two casts without you?
No, today is the first one without me.
Fair enough. Well,
I got posted today, and then we're recording today, so this will be up next week. You guys are always a week behind us. That's where magic happens, is in that week. I'm sorry. But you're always a week behind us.
It's hard to keep up on a weekly podcast.
Yeah.
Because, we got jobs and shit. And
we got lives.
Here's the thing. I wanted to talk about it first. That's why I had it up. But it looks like our third wheel here isn't here yet. Klops might join us later.
He just texted me right now.
And what did he say?
He said, "I just got home. I'm getting online."
Okay, fair enough. Oh,
there! Look at that! Look at that!
There he is.
He's showing up.
1 minute 48.
Well, that's 1 minute 48. We can see him connecting. Let's see how long it takes him to actually get here.
Wait, I don't want to get sued.
That's trademarked. Oh, and he's gone. And he's gone. This is going good. This is great.
This is great. Actually,
what's even better, people not watching live could think we're totally making this up.
Oh, yeah, also, that's the best part. Like, they're just raving.
Plug that we're live. Plug it. Do it.
We are live on YouTube right now.
What day is it?
It is Monday.
At what time?
At 7-ish.
And that's how plugs work.
I like that I have to say 7-ish because I know us. If we say 7.
About 7.
There we go. And that is 2 minutes and 37 seconds.
2 minutes, 37 seconds. That's how in we are.
Yay!
All right. We can't see your face, but we can hear your voice.
I can't see you either.
That's fair. You don't want to. We've seen us. It's not pretty. Nobody wants to see us. But still watch us live and see us. Whatever. What's going on, guys?
Actually, I'm kind of excited this week. There's a couple of things.
Sexually?
Not yet. We'll see how this progresses first.
All right.
So I've actually been. I knew nothing about it, and I really wanted to. No, what?
Yay!
Yay! No, I've really been wanting to watch the show ever since I heard about it, which was super late. But Disenchanted came out.
Yeah, I was stoked.
Oh man, like people know. Oh, we lost Jonathan again. People know that I'm a huge Futurama fan to the point where my boss has asked me to stop quoting it in front of other people because they won't get it.
I'm a bigger Futurama fan than I am a Simpsons fan, to be perfectly honest.
I agree. Yeah, I'm there with you. So when they announced the Netflix series by Matt Groening,
I've heard both groaning and graining.
I don't want to mess it up, but I'm gonna go with groaning because
yeah, I don't know how to say it.
Either way, I thought it was great. So it finally came out. I think this last week.
I don't know what day. I know we saw it on like Friday, and we were like, "Well, guess what's happening?"
Yeah, pretty much. And you know what? A lot of the humor is there. I will say, just right off the bat, my least favorite character is Elfo.
I don't hate Elfo.
I don't hate him, but he's my least favorite character.
I mean, he's necessary.
And did you notice that there was a huge tone shift from the first, 3 episodes on?
I would argue that it's more character progression than tone shift.
Well, okay, so I disagree because they were really painting the king as this fucking, villainous, I don't care about my daughter, I just care about the kingdom. And the way that resolved that was kind of, I won't spoil it, but it was very kind of like, oh, okay. and then they moved
But that's
on.
kind of the show, isn't it? A lot of the shows, all right.
Well, yeah, but it was so like the first 3 episodes were so.
I mean, also you got to keep John DiMaggio around.
Well,
You're not
yeah.
going to not keep John DiMaggio.
No, I know. It just
So
felt,
he is a bunch of voices. Everybody in this is a bunch of voices.
Yeah.
Nobody's really doing just one.
It just felt like a
Different
tone
people.
shift. I liked it though. I thought it was great. I will say that it is having the same syndrome as Futurama. Is that this first time I went through it, I was just, it's funny. I'm okay with it, but it's not as quotable as Futurama is.
I thought it had a lot of really great like moments, but you're right, they weren't quotable moments. They were like the jester. The first time he's just casually tossed out a window, and I forgot even what he said. It was just like, "Oh geez" or something, but just the way he delivers it and how blunt it was of just like, yeah, we put him out a window now. Fuck that guy.
Well, and as always in any of the Matt Groening shows, it's pay attention to the background. There are so many little things in the background, like the sign in front of the castle, or sorry, the kingdom changes, and
I didn't notice that. Damn it!
It changes a couple of times. Also, if you notice, the heads on pikes change too.
The all of the shops in town have clever little names.
Oh, yeah.
All of them. Like one of them was called Forget Potions or something like that, but the sign is just a bar sign. It's a beer stein.
Well, and then the Flying Scepter pub?
Flying Scepter pub. I don't get that.
Okay, so the Flying Scepter pub is the one place that every time the king gets pissed and throws his scepter out the window, that's where they end up. So they just named the pub the Flying Scepter, and every so often, like, you see a scepter come in. One guy has it like sticking out of his head, and
I guess I missed that somehow.
I don't know how you missed that whole thing. So I will say there is one particular character that I wanted to talk about because he has such a distinct voice. I immediately knew who he was.
Oh, I'm gonna laugh so hard if you get it wrong. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'm not gonna say his name. Why would I say his name? I'm terrible at names.
Who is it?
The second prince.
Okay. So not the guy she's originally supposed to marry, but the guy they find instead. And this is all the first episode. It's nothing super spoilery.
Yeah, exactly. And I know him because he's from the IT crowd. He in that was the second boss, which I thought was hilarious.
You're just going so far out of your way to not say names or do any of this.
Yes, because I'm terrible with names. Why would I even try? I was gonna say Joe McHale, and that's not his name.
It is absolutely not even kind of close to Joe McHale. His name is Matt Berry. A lot of people would know him from the IT crowd as the second boss. Mighty Boosh as he's the guy who owns the zoo, whose name I cannot remember, but he's a reoccurring character. And then he also did Snuffbox with Rich Fulcher, who is also in here as he's. I don't know if they ever even say a name for the character, but the two evil people. There's two evil people. I'm trying not to be spoilery. There's two distinctive evil people who keep showing up. He's the boy evil people. That's Rich Fulcher.
Yeah, no. So far, I'm liking this show. I will say.
Sorry, I cut you off a little bit. I'm sorry, but Matt Berry, the guy from IT Crowd, you recognized him right away. But does he not always kind of play that character?
I just think his voice is that character. Like,
I mean, it is. You're not wrong.
That's exactly what it is. It comes off as this, like, hoity-toity, pompous, overly sure of himself kind of voice. Which I don't mind, but, yeah, it's always
But it's going to get typecast.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
I still think he does a great job at it. And
absolutely.
Some of the lines that they give him are extraordinary. Because he has such a haughty voice, the dude could say almost anything, and he'd be very, very, like, still, like, I think he knows what he's talking about, kind of. But moving on, so, like, the little demon guy, I was expecting to like him more than I do, honestly.
Yeah, I have a hard time seeing the character go forward. Like, I just feel like the shtick's gonna get old if they don't eventually evolve him into something more. But a nice entry by Eric Andre. I think he's doing a good job, and I've been following Eric Andre's stuff for a little while now. I like it. So if you don't know Eric Andre, he's known as just being very over the top normally. Like, that's his humor style. A lot of the stuff he does is very over the top. And this is actually pretty restrained for him.
Actually, that's kind of the problem for me, is that they could do so much more with that character. It felt like they could have gone more of a Bender.
I was just gonna say, at what point is he just Demon Bender, though?
Well, but that's okay. You don't give him the crazy catchphrases, and you don't give him like the things that made Bender Bender. Don't make him a womanizer or any of that stuff. But you give him that same kind of blasé attitude, and really like he's supposed to be a demon in this, but he's just coming off as a dick.
I mean, I guess this all depends on how you look at demons, but I imagine demons are just kind of dicks.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be evil dicks. He's not even that evil.
He's not, and he actually has a few moments of kind of not evil.
Yeah, that was super bizarre. There were a couple times where I was just like, I don't understand. And
unless we find out there is more to this character.
Sure, of course.
Which there is still plenty of time to do.
I will say that I love the way that and Groening does an amazing job at this, but he captures simple things and puts them in whatever world he's built.
Yeah.
Like in Futurama, you're talking about where, simple thing like an elevator. He changes it for the future, and he takes it to almost a ridiculous place, but you're like, yeah, that's plausible. Here, like the picture that I'm showing, just like the horses. The horses, the police horses.
Oh, they were donkeys. Oh my god, I was laughing so fucking hard at the donkeys.
Well, there were police donkeys, and they turn the sirens on, and they're like ee-aw, ee-aw. So they sound like police sirens, and it was fucking hilarious.
So stupid.
But no, it's dumb. But
I laughed so hard.
Yeah, no, it was great. No,
and it also still has a lot of like the strange madcap. Like one of the jokes that makes no sense that I found myself laughing at so hard was they use magic to make a horse laugh.
Oh yeah.
So it's just a horse that keeps going like ha, 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 ha. And like that's the whole fucking joke. I'm still dying.
Yeah, no, there were a lot of things like just like that, like the walrus thing.
I don't remember.
I'm trying not to give away too much, but
oh yeah, that was this weird blend. This is another thing they do. They have these weird blends of where it's like actual history,
yeah,
and then complete fantasy.
It was I felt like it came out of nowhere because they specifically called out the walrus thing like 2 minutes before they showed it.
Yeah.
So you're still thinking like, wait, no.
Yeah, it's a very weird place where they decide to draw the line of like, this is total fantasy and anything can happen, and no, really, this is just how something works. What's wrong with you?
No.
Which is great. It leaves you guessing, and I think that's actually a really good call to make for this. I really do think if you went, I mean, obviously too historical is not going to work, but at the same time, not drawing lines for something like this, it's going to come off more madcap and wouldn't play to Groening's strengths.
Yeah. And I like I said, Alpha was my least favorite character, and
I was surprised by who voices him though.
Who voices him?
Nat Faxon. Anybody who watched oh my god, I can't remember the name of it now that I'm talking about it. It's the Netflix original one. It has Fred Savage in it and Keegan-Michael Key and Peele. Keegan-Michael Key, I think, from Key and Peele, but he's in it, and then it has Robin from How I Met Your Mother. They're all in a Netflix original one.
Oh, I haven't seen that. It's like
he plays one of the main
friends
guys
from college or something.
Friends from College, exactly. Yes, he's the guy that Robin hooks up with in Friends from College. He's also in Club Dread. He's in a lot of the Broken Lizard stuff. If you saw Beer Fest, he's one of the German guys.
Okay.
But I just don't really know him for his voice stuff. I know he did accent stuff. So to hear a voice that is very distinctly not his regular speaking voice, and he plays another character in the show that is his regular speaking voice. Right. Once you see his face, you go, oh, fuck, that guy. I just don't think a lot of people know him by name. Nat Faxon. But I was shocked that he was fucking Elfo, because until I knew it was him, I could not see the voice coming out of his face.
And now, this is on purpose, but I don't understand why they did it. Why does Elfo kind of look like Bart?
I think that's just his drawing style.
You think so? Because he's got the blue shorts and the red shirt also.
Okay, I didn't go that far with it, but...
I mean, it just felt a little on the nose, and I was wondering if I just missed the point of it.
Maybe. I didn't catch it.
I will say, though, the main character, not a fan.
She walks that fine line of being both the damsel in distress and going too far into that, like, new age Disney princess, girls are action kick butt too, which isn't bad. It's just, it's being done a lot, so it's nice to see something that's kind of walking this line between two things.
I just, see, my problem with it is, like, no, I get it, like, they want to make her kind of kick ass, but she's not full-blown kick ass, which I like. She's a fucking bored sometimes.
She's more she's like, she's Britta meets Brave.
Okay.
Britta from Community. It's Britta meets Brave.
I just thought she was kind of a less whiny, slightly dumber Leela, really.
I think she's not as capable as Leela, and at the same time having to deal with more personal issues than Leela was.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They both have the fucking parent issues going for them.
Sure, but who doesn't?
True. But yeah, no, look, it's a solid show. Like, we're nitpicking.
I mean, that's what we do. This is our job. We nitpick. All in all, I binged the whole thing. I'm not sorry I binged the whole thing. I'll watch the fuck out of season 2.
I'm going to watch it again because I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff I miss. Yeah. I think the storyline is hinting at something bigger, and I think it's supposed to be more of an epic versus disjointed stories like Futurama and The Simpsons are.
Right. It's like later seasons of Futurama where there's things happening that matter.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting.
Honestly, amazing voice cast. If you're a fan of Mighty Boosh, there's a lot of members of Mighty Boosh in here. There's a lot of the people that Groening are used to working with, like Maurice LaMarche and Billy West. There's a few newcomers, well, not newcomers, but guys you don't know for doing a lot of voices, like Abby Jacobson and Eric Andre. It's a really good cast.
Yeah, and honestly, I wish I wish more people listen to this podcast so we can really push a lot more of these voice actors. They were doing a fantastic job, and really, it's a tough spot to be in, right? No one knows your face, everyone knows your voice. And
especially doing it on Netflix, who's just really heavily getting into the animation scene. It's risky stuff. Though Netflix has a high chance of putting out more, you don't know what's going to catch on and what's not.
Exactly, because it's tough, right? Once people see it, it's not like it necessarily goes into syndication where it just happens to be on. You have to go and search for it. But anyways, yeah, fantastic. It was great.
Absolutely worth your time.
And unfortunately, I think our buddy Klobbs here isn't going to be able to jump on because,
that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about things that I like.
You know what the best part is, though? Those times where he actually did jump on, no one's going to be able to hear him. They're going to think we're making it up. Because
was he not piped in?
Well, no, because remember, we record individually. Like,
the
live video will show that he popped on, but the podcast recording, nope.
Perfect. We're great. He doesn't even exist. Anybody who started listening at this episode, he doesn't even exist. We
totally made him up.
But by the next episode, we'll have found a guy to pretend to be this guy, and then it'll seem like he existed the whole time.
Exactly.
Also, don't listen to any previous episodes.
Mindfuck. Yeah, so one thing I want to talk about as well, and Monster Hunter World is here.
Yeah.
How stoked are we?
Well, I think I've been playing a little bit more than you have.
You have. I've been doing a lot of non-video game stuff lately.
Life.
Yeah, fucking real life, right?
It's a bunch of bullshit.
But
no, I've been loving it. It's great.
Yeah, I wanted to get your take because you've never played a Monster Hunter game. So come on, lay it on me. What do you think?
This is my first Monster Hunter game. I like the world. though it's a little weird. Like, Palicos are just weird, but they're fucking handy. And the more I realize that I can set my Palico to do, the better, which is great. This is going to be a weird thing, and people are going to be like, fuck you for saying this sentence, but I mean it. I think the game is a little too dense. Like, growing plants, I think, is too far. The canteen having to, like, farm out for extra rations and shit when you have them cook stuff is a step too far. There's just a few elements in the game where I'm like, at what point are we just putting a hat on a hat? We get it.
Yeah.
We craft things. Do I need 40? There's 3 kinds of currency in the game, all of which can more or less be spent on about the same things. It's a little overdeveloped. But having said that, everything else is on point. The monster hunts, I'm really enjoying. I think there probably could be more diversity of the monster hunts, though I'm not super, super far into the game, and I'm already starting to see little hints of more diversity. So I'm thinking it's there. I'm just not far enough to really see the scope of it yet. But monsters are solid. The hunting is solid. I think the balance between multiplayer and single player is really strong because, like we said, I've been playing without you a lot, and I know you've been doing a lot of the missions without really anybody jumping in.
Yep.
And they're long, but do you feel like it's unwieldy long?
In my case, yes, but it's my
Really?
fault because of the weapon type that I chose.
That's fair. I mean, I chose a pretty low damage weapon too, but, you know, I do a 10, 15-minute hunt, and usually I can take the thing down in that amount of time.
I see, and I don't think you're lucky. Last time it took me almost the full hour to hunt the one monster.
Okay, you might want to rethink your tactics.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't even the tactics. It was the particular fight too. So it was that fish monster. So there's a fish monster that tends to be slightly amphibious, but you're supposed to be fighting him from patches of mud. The fish can jump completely out of the water and attack you, and it can land next to you and miss you and then flail and hit you anyways. And if he hits you, you get slowed. If you get thrown in the mud, which he can fling, you get slowed. And then what happens is he runs off to another side of the arena, and you have to trudge through marshes to go get him. And
you're really going to hate a couple of fights coming up.
Well, but look, that one particular fight was really fucking terrible, especially because I didn't have any hope and you had someone else fighting with you.
I've gone back and done that fight a few times since then. There are tricks to it, but there's some ones coming up that are going to be way worse.
Really? More mud trudgy bullshit?
No, not even mud. There's a point fairly soonish where you're in an area that automatically causes you to lose life per second because of poison damage.
Oh,
and then you have to fight 2 creatures, one which stuns you and one which causes bleed on top of poison.
So I'm not against all that. I just hated the fact that I had to chase it. Like,
oh, you have to chase everything.
No.
Never once killed something.
It wasn't like the other ones. When I chased them, they ran and I could chase after it. In this one, like, I'm chasing it around the fucking map, just round in circles. Like, there was no. I was so fucking pissed for that fight. It's just because it was running away. And then I got there, and then it'd just be like, okay, thanks, bye, and run right back to the other side of the map. It wasn't like it was engaging me or anything. It was just fucking boring at that point. But it's all good. I chose the bow, and maybe that was a mistake, because it is doing nothing for damage. Like, a couple of them I'm doing 4 each time I hit.
Yeah, the creatures have over 1,000 life pretty early on.
Yeah, it's fucking redunk. So I'm hoping that maybe once you get upgraded in these things that it'll get better, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm definitely interested.
Next time you hop on, I can do hunts with you. I think it's really good so far. It has a lot of scalability. It's having some server issues on PC.
Quite a bit. I couldn't get on with anybody for a while.
Like, we found the trick to it, basically. After you host one, you pretty much have to just end and either create a new session or join somebody else's session and then just keep doing that. That's what we've had the best luck with.
Oh, well, fuck
it's a little obnoxious, but it's not the worst thing.
You know, I got so frustrated with that fucking game, I went back to Destiny 2.
Ew.
Yeah, no, I got
Gross.
frustrated. I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going back to Destiny 2. I need to get some of this aggression out. This game won't let me hunt. I'm gonna
So
go fucking shoot.
What
some
do
shit.
you like? What are you enjoying?
I like the Monster Hunter series in general. I like the idea that you're able to legit track things. You can trap things. I do like the idea that there's little mini games to like cook shit, even though I haven't 100% gotten the fucking hang of it. I enjoy it. Yeah.
All right, that's it.
I mean, the monsters are cool, and so far the story seems somewhat interesting.
That's one thing I have to go against you on. I gave up on the story a while ago. The story, in my summation of the whole thing, seems to be there is monsters, and for general reasons, you have to hunt them.
Well, there's more to it. There's more to it than that. There's the Elder Dragon and.
Oh yeah, there's also a big monster, and eventually you're gonna have to hunt him too.
Yeah, no, there's more to it than that. But anyways, yeah, he's making faces for people on the audio only.
Can't prove it.
They can. They'll just see the YouTube video.
Lies.
At in 5D. Check us out on YouTube. Plug. Anyways, no, I'm liking it. I need to sit down and really just dedicate some time to get a little higher level and better gear, and I think I'll enjoy it a little bit more. But Jesus, the starting monsters were kicking my ass for a little bit. Actually, to be fair, the first 3 monsters I did fine. One of them got weird because Bonsai and I were doing it together, and I'm fighting one monster, and this other monster shows up randomly and starts beating the crap out of the first monster, and at first I was like, yeah, and I guess they heard me, because then they both looked at me and tried to beat the crap out of me. I'm like, what are y'all?
It's called a turf war. It's a pretty cool mechanic, where in this one, if two monsters run into each other while one is kind of fighting, another one will usually jump in to try and steal its territory from it. And if you have a big enough group, I've actually done this with Klops and Edge now. If you have a big enough group, a lot of times you can turn on whichever monster's losing, kill that, and then run back and kill the one you're actually trying to kill.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. What I thought was weird was I didn't do shit. I literally was sitting in a bush, and all of a sudden they both just looked at me and they were like, "It's on, motherfucker!" And both started. I was like, "What the fuck? I didn't do anything." But
you showed weakness.
Okay, but anyways, no, it's a solid game, and I've been waiting for this game for a while because of the PC mechanics. I figured the connectivity shit was gonna be easier, but oh my god, look, fuck, even if they didn't have connection problems, it is fucking painful.
The cutscene thing is stupid.
Like, so basically what it does is you can't join any other game, and they can't join yours until you've seen the cutscenes. So if this is your first run through, people can't just jump in and play with you, and you can't jump into their games either.
So if you're doing like what he and I did, we bought the game at the same time, we installed it, we intended to play it together, but what you have to do is both of you start the level separately, on the same server even. You have to start the mission separately, get to a certain point in the mission, then one person has to abandon the mission and join the other guy's mission. It's a little overdeveloped and a little stupid.
Yeah, no, it is absolutely ridiculous, and I hate it.
It's not the best call.
Well, that, so that and the connection issues, and it just, it's also overly complicated. So you get a quest, you can't just be like, hey, I'm going to invite someone to this quest.
Right.
You have to go to the person that gives the quest, accept the quest, and then you go to a message board and post the quest, and then you can't even invite someone to the quest. Someone has to join your quest. And to even join your session, they have to have like a session ID, or did you ever figure out how to do it via like the friends link?
I just know how to find people now. You just go to friends and join your friend session. It's the easiest way.
It is overly complicated for no goddamn reason, it seems.
It's a little much.
Yeah. But anyways, so I'm still gonna play the game. I think it's worth it. It's just gonna take me a little while to really. Ooh, I forgot to put the graphic up. This is what I mean. Hunting the monsters. That's a wyvern. I haven't gotten to fight one yet, but I ride one around, sort of.
You've just had the. You're bad with the graphics thing. Still Disenchanted up there.
Oh, actually, just switch to the Monster Hunter. But yeah,
I don't see it yet.
as we're moving on.
Well,
So,
then switch to the next thing.
next thing, bow retro review.
Yeah, I've been doing more of my retro collecting and retro game playing, and this week I picked up. This week I picked up Mystic Defender for the Sega Genesis. Let me hold it there. You have a graphic up, but I'm still gonna hold it up to the screen like a crazy person.
That's fair. By the way, this graphic, because this is a really old game, I didn't blow it up. That's just as good as it gets.
Yeah, it's a really old game, and mine is not in great condition, but it's in good enough condition that I don't mind. Actually, really fun game. Comparing it to anything, I'd say it's a lot like Altered Beast.
Okay.
You've ever played classic, power up, and then you get more muscular until you become fearsome werewolf, and then you shoot around screen. Sometimes you're a dragon, sometimes bear. That's Altered Beast. That's how Altered Beast works. That's basically the whole game.
You get to be a dragon and a bear in this?
No, though there is a similar mechanic. Every time you beat a level, you beat a boss, you get a new power, and that power has a totally different kind of attack. Okay. So as you go through, you power up and you get a new attack to add to your repertoire.
Okay,
I didn't beat the game.
Swap them out?
Yeah, you can switch between them.
Okay.
But with the way the game works, your main attack, you can tap the button and fire little Hadouken force balls. Or you can charge it up and shoot a big Hadouken force ball. But the thing is, there are certain things in the game that can only be hit with a charge attack, or there are certain powers that have to be charged to a certain level before you can use them. So some stuff is quicker, some stuff is longer. One of the ones I found to be the best, you have a kind of like a flamethrower Hadouken ability, but if you charge it up, it just stays going. So you have a constant flamethrower, and if you slam the D-pad around, it'll aim the fire in different directions. So you can move and just kind of burn out all the enemies in front of you for a few seconds, as opposed to mashing the button and firing out a bunch of little force balls.
And how does it stop? Does it just run out, or
runs out of time after so much charge?
Okay.
But it's been really... That's been my most handy one. And then I only made it to level 4. In the third level, you get one that just kind of fires bolts in all directions, but those bolts ricochet around the screen.
Okay, is this one of those where you get a code to continue from a later part, or do you just have to...
I think when you die, you get a code. Though it is 3 lives, restart the game.
Oh, ouch.
Like, there's no continue. It's 3 lives, you die, you So no, actually, no, there is no code, because I did that a bunch. 3 lives, you die, the end.
Wow. That's
I'm sure, like a lot of Sega games, there's probably an easy mode, and the easy mode will give you like 2 more lives, but that's not a lot in this game. It is hard. This is like Altered Beast. You can beat after a couple tries.
Have you ever
Altered
actually
Beast is not a
beat
difficult
the
game.
whole thing on
Altered Beast? Yeah, multiple times.
I don't think I've ever actually made it all the way. Well, to be fair, I played it a lot while pooping in your old apartment bathroom. That's Sega.
That's
and
the thing.
It wasn't enough time. Oh, yeah. For those of you who don't know, there was a TV in the old apartment bathroom that we all used.
We found a way to... So, toilet, and then in front of the toilet were cupboards where normal people would keep towels. We found a way to fit a TV and a Sega in there.
Yeah.
So, we had a toilet Sega.
Toilet Sega. Legit.
And then we actually couldn't get the TV back out when we moved. That was, I guess, there forever. That's there forever.
Well, what surprised me the most is I didn't think there was power there when you guys first moved in.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking right now, I have no idea where we plugged that in, but I do remember that you did not have to pull out the Sega and plug it in somewhere else every time. You could open the cupboard and turn on the Sega.
Yeah.
So somebody ran power somewhere.
Yep, that's just truth.
Either way, Altered Beast you can beat in a couple of pass-throughs. This one I sat and played for a solid 2 hours. And like I said, I made it to level 4. There is a learning curve. There's a couple things that I don't feel are very intuitive, like which enemies need to be hit with that charge attack.
Okay.
It took me a long time because I was still I don't have a manual for it or anything, so I still wasn't even sure how the charge attacks worked. I fought him way too, there's a learning curve to it. It's a little steep. But I actually think the game is really quality, and I enjoyed what I played. I fully plan on going back and trying to beat it. I think it's probably only a, 5 to 8 level game, like a lot of these are when they're like this, but
yeah.
really
with
fun.
The ramped up difficulty.
Right. Altered Beast is only 4 or 5 levels. Contra Hardcore is like 6 or 7 levels, I think. So yeah, a lot of the Genesis side-scroller beat-em-up kind of games like this are fairly short. So even at level 4, I was probably fairly far in the game. I'm definitely going to go back and try and beat this thing. Mystic Defender. Really fun, really worth picking up. Not an expensive title. It was about $14 when I grabbed it.
Okay.
So really, really solid retro title.
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of excited. So I am probably going to set up a retro console station here within the next couple of months. And I actually have quite a few of them that I have. I don't have any of the niche ones. I've got like the Genesis. I've got the NES, the Super NES. I've got N64. I've got GameCube. I thought I had a Dreamcast, but I think I left that with you.
No, I bought my Dreamcast, and it actually, unfortunately, needs to get repaired.
Wait, what happened to the Dreamcast we bought at Mad Catz?
Did you buy this one with me?
Yeah, we split it. We bought that one, and then we bought a bunch of games too.
Oh, then this is that one. I've only bought one Dreamcast.
I think it was Mad Catz, or what was it called?
Space Cats.
Space Cats. That's what it was called. That shop.
Yeah, back when it was on Bascom.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have no idea what we're talking about.
Nope. San Jose, California.
It's a place.
Yep.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my Dreamcast the Dreamcast, I guess to say, our Dreamcast that lives with me.
Yeah, it's one. I'm probably just gonna have to get another one because you're in another state now. Hey.
But the laser, the disc train is broken. But luckily, you can actually buy replacements. They're like $80.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm just gonna replace the whole thing with a new one, drop it in, call it good.
Yeah. So that's. I don't have
it's all Sega systems that I need repaired now that I'm thinking about it. I got to repair my Game Gear too because the screen's fucked. So I'm gonna. It's like $100, but nowadays, dude, this is cool. I know we're coming up to an end here, but I got to share this bit.
No, we still got a little time.
I will try and put this on a link. I'm gonna remember to do this. I'm gonna put it on a link in the podcast episode.
He says, but he's not.
I have notes. There is a company who, for I think it's like $100, will sell you a screen replacement kit for the Sega Game Gear.
Okay.
That will upgrade it to a new LCD screen that you can pop in.
Oh.
So like the color and clarity is gorgeous on this thing.
Super fancy.
It doesn't do like upscaling, but it's nice, it's backlit, and it's gorgeous. It's like $100. They say it's not too difficult to put into place. And then I believe the same company also now sells a rechargeable battery pack, so you don't got to go through like 1,400 batteries using the goddamn thing for 2 hours.
I thought it came with a power plug.
Yeah, you can plug it into a wall, but what if I want to go to a convention?
Okay, I wouldn't take my Game Gear or any of my retro consoles to a convention because people steal.
I wouldn't take my Switch. I usually end up taking my Game Boy or my Game Gear on things like that. Sometimes I take my DS, but my DS is heavily modded.
All right, so yeah, exciting, very exciting.
Retro.
All right.
We should both start doing retro videos.
You say that. I have an idea. You know what? I'm not gonna say it because people will steal my shit. But
we'll talk.
We'll talk. I'm thinking about doing some videos, and I think I mentioned it to you, but we'll chat. Keeping you.
We've been trying to get videos going forever, and I promise eventually we will produce videos.
Yep, we will.
It is a thing we intend on doing.
I don't promise they'll be great, but we'll produce them.
Yeah, they'll happen.
All right. Last thing, we have been talking about this for several episodes.
Fucking I forgot again. I wanted to open. God damn it.
Well, the reason I didn't open with it is because Klops was in here, and I was hoping he'd jump back on. So, we are doing this thing called the FML League.
Fantasy Movie League.
Yeah, it's not Fuck My Life. You actually have to type it in FML League because otherwise all you get is Fuck My Life posts and shit like that.
Angry kids.
No, it's not even that. It was that for a while people were just like, really ridiculous situations, fuck my life, stuff like that. But yeah, Fantasy Movie League. I did really poor last week, and I've got it here up on screen. I'm very sad because I did fairly well on my on the official Fantasy Movie League, but I did poorly on the metagame one.
So we've been having a running metagame league. I'm winning because of a weird thing, and I admit I'm winning because of a weird thing. So last week's standings, Klops took number 1, I took second place, Eduardo took third place. So the way, I guess we should explain how this works, right? That's what makes the most sense. The way this works, think of it like fantasy football, where you would normally line up players and then get points somehow through footballing. I don't actually understand fantasy football. So in this game, you take movies, real movies that are in the theaters that week, you put them on your roster. Better movies cost more, newer movies cost more, things like that. It's like a big Marvel release. That'll cost you more than getting like an indie film.
And you have 1,000 movie bucks.
1,000 movie bucks per week to build your perfect theater. And then you basically bet on what's going to do the best in the box office. Yeah. So, Klops, should I say the whole lineup? Do you think people care? Should we do the whole lineup of what Klops picked?
Sure, it's fine.
That's what we want to do?
They can see it on screen right now.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So there it is. So those were our picks last week. I took second, Klops took first. It was fairly close, except for you were what, 3 million below?
I was 3 million below.
3 million below, which is we were all way under the perfect box office.
Which is, what's
170.
Yeah, but you know what's shitty? On my normal one, on the big one, I scored higher than any of these.
Really?
Yeah. I scored like 67 or something.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, I gotta talk about my first place win, though, because I'm proud of how I've done this.
No, so here's the bullshit. Look at how many times I've won.
Oh, yeah.
I've won 4 times.
Here's why I'm still in first place.
Because it's
bullshit?
bullshit?
I have taken second place every week for the whole time this league is, for the whole series or whatever they call it. I have taken second place in every single week. So even though they've taken firsts, both him and Klops have taken third places, and those third places were low enough that my second places out total them.
To be fair, though, that's only because a couple of weeks I forgot to fucking put in your. So there's a cutoff for when you got to put in your time. And there were ones where, like, I do it at work, so I got busy, and I put, like, 2 movies up, and the rest of it was fucking empty, or I'd forget to put, and I got 0. So, fuck your face.
I'm a hero, and he is a piece.
You are not even remotely a winner.
I'm like Johnny Appleseed. I'm an American goddamn hero.
But, yeah, anyways. So, it's fun, and it's interesting, and I gotta put in my picks for next week before I fucking forget again, but we're trying to do a recap every week. You know what?
We'll get better at it.
I was surprised that his lineup won. Because if you look at it, like, none of the... I don't know, Christopher Robin was trending really poorly the week before.
It really was.
I actually saw The Spy Who Jumped Me. It was okay. And the other ones are a couple weeks old, except for Alpha, and that was kind of a wild card.
Yeah, but Alpha is part of the perfect Cineplex. He actually didn't have the top movie, though.
What was the top movie?
The top movie was Crazy Rich Asians, which I did bet on.
I did bet on, too. I figured it was going to be big.
He played Mamma Mia, and that was doing really well, and I really bet. I made a couple of stupid bets this season. I bet against the Meg. I bet against Mamma Mia.
Come on, it's the Meg. I just I hate that that's doing so well. So, have you heard of what the synopsis for that is?
Yeah, no, I know. I'm aware.
No. Like, do you understand how they explain why there's a giant shark that no one's ever run into before?
Isn't it a prehistoric shark?
No.
Oh no.
Spoilers. You know, wait like 4 or 5 seconds. That shark lives in an ocean under the ocean. There's a sub-ocean. You wish I was joking. Like, I haven't seen it. I just heard the synopsis and I was like, is it a what? Like, at this point, this is Sharknado status. And don't get me wrong, Sharknado makes their money back and then some. But for it to be
Actually,
big
I've heard the new
blockbuster-
Sharknado is supposed to be the best Sharknado.
Are you talking about the one that has time travel in it?
It's about time.
All right.
Okay, hold on. Let's really quick, before we call it, let's look at the lineup for this week, because I actually have a prediction. I'm going to be a dick again. I'm betting against something. I'm putting no faith in it. I will not play it in a single theater.
Let's go this week. Here we are. So, just so everybody knows, here are the things that are available for this week. And I have $1,000 to spend. And what the fuck is Axel? Oh my god.
That's what I'm betting against.
No.
Axel is not going to make a dick of money.
Did you know that? I think that's already been made. I think that might be because there's a show. I think it's a Bollywood show. Is this the one where he turns into a giant robot or something?
No, it's just a robot dog. It's literally just a boy and his robot dog.
Interesting. Okay, so here are the picks. I'm not gonna make the picks because it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Uh-oh.
I can hear you just
back?
fine.
Yeah, no, you totally froze up.
Nah, yeah, probably. That's fine. It's okay. That's why I'm getting rid of fucking Comcast. All right. Anyways, Happy Time Murders, which I expect to do well because
That's where my money's going.
yeah, of course, the fucking Meg again. Mile 22, Mission Impossible, steadily on the top. Like, they didn't have a big opening, but it seems like they've been fairly steady. Christopher Robin, Alpha, Black Klansman,
It's supposed to be really
AXL,
good.
Hotel Transylvania. I don't know how that's still at the top. I mean, kids, I guess.
Yep.
Slenderman, Mamma Mia, Ant-Man, The Equalizer 2, and Incredibles 2. That is what's available. What are your predictions?
I don't think Axel is going to make any money.
Okay.
I see a tank.
Okay.
I think Happy Time Murders will do... I'm getting like a Ted vibe. I feel like people will roll out like they did for Ted.
But do you think they'll do it the first week?
I do, actually.
You think it'll be an opening weekend kind of thing?
I think they're doing enough press and it has a decent enough concept that enough people can get behind that it'll do... I don't know if it's going to be the #1 this week, but I think it's going to do well.
I still think Crazy Rich Asians is going to be on top again because the hype is out and they did so well the first weekend that the people that hadn't seen it are going to come out and see it.
Yeah, I can buy that.
I do think Happy Time will be second, and then after that it's kind of a toss-up, dude. Like, I think Slenderman's probably going to be the biggest drop-off.
I buy that.
I don't know. Christopher Robin was kind of a weird one. Came out of nowhere for the last one.
I'm so personally disappointed that it's not doing better.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but
I
we'll see.
really liked it.
And you know what? Next week, if we remember and we're not assholes and forget like we have been, we'll update you. You'll see what our picks were, and we'll go from there. And check it out, FantasyMovieLeague.com. They don't sponsor us, but it's kind of a fun thing.
Join the Metagame Network thing.
Yeah,
League.
we have our
The
own.
league.
We have our own Fantasy Movie League. Look for Metagame Network, and yeah, hit us up. We can all kind of play together.
It's password.
All right. Huh? Check us
It's
out.
a password.
What's the
Here's a
password?
password.
That's fine. What is it?
You
People
have to,
can
like, tell the
request it, right?
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
We'll have to figure that out and let you guys know.
We'll put it up on the website, so you have to visit it.
Yeah, there you go. MetagameNetwork.com or 5dpodcast.com. They go to the same place. Hey, check us out on Tuesdays. We're probably going to be playing Monster Hunter. If we can convince the other moron. Wait, who said that? No, we'll probably be playing Monster Hunter. and that is on twitch.tv/metagame network. That is Tuesday nights, 7-ish to 9-ish. And Klops is gone, so no final words from him. Final words?
He's dead.
Those are your final words?
He's dead, Jim.
I knew he was going to add Jim. All right. On that note, bye.
Bye. Yay.